Welcome back to the second episode of Match Monday. In honor of it being Final X Week, I've chosen a freestyle match from the 2015 World Team Trials to break down today. In blue is 19-year-old Kyle Snyder, who was an NCAA runner-up for the Ohio State University at the end of the 2015 season. And in red is 2012 Olympic champion Jake Varner. Varner is a lesser spoken about Olympic champion, but he was a two-time NCAA champion and a bronze medalist at the 2011 Worlds. Varner took 2013 and 2014 off, so at the time there was a lot of discussion about whether or not Varner was going to have some mat rust. Snyder was brand new on the scene and had a lot of hype since he was still a teenager with a chance to make the world team. This is match 2, and Snyder had beaten the reigning Olympic champion in match 1. Varner just hit a beautiful snap but was not able to capitalize and score. As you'll notice watching the match, Varner does not do a lot of traditional offense as far as leg attacks. You'll see plenty of heavy hand fighting, snap downs, and throw bys from Varner. Snyder likes to do a lot of work out of collar ties, and he's a low single guy, which you don't see a ton of at 97 kilograms. Snyder gets hit for a passivity warning, meaning that Varner is controlling center better than Snyder is right now. If Snyder gets hit again, he'll go on the shot clock. This warning does pick up Snyder's hand fighting quite a bit, as he's going to start pushing forward and controlling center a little bit better. Varner's going to snap out of the ties and try to get a little more distance to work and hopefully force Snyder to take a bad shot. Snyder is going to start pushing real hard with his collar ties, and Varner starts to work on snapping Snyder down, but he isn't really able to get anything going from it. These are beautiful snaps from Varner. They end up standing each other up here with Snyder winning the inside position, but neither guy is really able to generate anything. They look like a couple of pit bulls going at it here. Now Varner is going to get hit for passivity, so both guys have a passivity call. The next guy to get hit for passivity will go on the shot clock, and that has to happen in the next 22 seconds. The rule is someone needs to be put on the shot clock before there's a minute left in the first period. Snyder is winning the center a little bit more here, and he's going to give a little half shot to try to win a little more favor with the referees. This does push Varner back a little bit more, so Snyder is definitely holding position a little bit better, so they're going to put Varner on the clock and hit him with a passivity. You can see a definite change in tactics from Snyder as soon as the passivity is called. He is no longer moving forward with his ties and is instead electing to play defense and force Varner to generate some offense. Varner did attempt a throw by there, but it was stopped by Snyder. They end up locking horns here, and Snyder pushes Varner away, which is probably better for Varner. Varner's going to try working from the outside here, as he's really not able to get anything going from the ties. This is a nice little tactic here from Varner. As soon as Snyder makes contact, Varner takes that shot, trying to get underneath Snyder's arms. Snyder's able to defend pretty easily, but it was a good idea from Varner to change up his game plan as the 30 seconds comes to an end, and Snyder's going to go up 1-0. There's 30 seconds left in the period, and Snyder goes back to his game plan of controlling center, and he's going to be moving Snyder, and they're snapping on each other hard. Varner's going to hit his throw by here, and somehow he gets under Snyder, but doesn't get the takedown, and Snyder somehow evades going out of bounds. That was unbelievable matrix stuff right there to not give up the step out or the takedown by Snyder. There's 9 seconds left in this period, and both guys are going to be okay just waiting this one out. Snyder with a deep underhook, and Varner is just going to hold center. The period's going to come to an end, and the action's going to pick up in the second period. Snyder is going to immediately change his tactics and get way more aggressive here and get in on a low leg. He releases from the tie and attacks a low leg on Varner's left foot, and Snyder's in great position to score here. Varner's not an Olympic champ for nothing, and he's got a great chest wrap here, and he's fighting hard not to give up this takedown. It looks as though Varner gets his foot free, but Snyder keeps a single leg as Varner works to throw and ends up putting himself to his back for 4. Snyder's working on top here, and Varner's corner is waiting for the... Snyder is working on top as Varner's corner is waiting for the confirmation of points. Kyle Sanderson immediately throws the brick when he sees a confirmation for 4 points. They blow the whistle for the restart and go back to look at the challenge. It is almost immediately confirmed 2 points rather than 4, so the score is 3-0 in favor of Snyder. I went back and watched this sequence a ton of times, and Varner definitely went feet to back. I don't know all of the intricacies of the feet to back rule. Varner's butt did touch first, so maybe that counts for 2 instead of 4. Kale seems to get a lot of calls. I'm not sure this is the correct one, but I'd love to hear the clarification. Again, I haven't looked at the rulebook for the different clarifications on 4-point versus 2-point exposures. Snyder stays on the offense, so it's clear that his corner was telling him he needs to be more offensive and get in more wrestling positions to win this match. I think this is a great game plan from Snyder's corner, as Varner is a more experienced wrestler and may have more dangerous tactics late in close matches. Snyder did not get a step out there. Varner was on his knees, so they were called grounded, so it's still 3-0 Snyder. Varner does need to start generating some offense as Snyder is up 3-0 and doesn't have to take a ton of risk here. There is plenty of time left in the match, but Varner needs to figure something out as he has not been able to score on Snyder for this entire match. Snyder takes a level change half shot here again, showing that he's being a little bit more aggressive than Varner. They stop it. I have no idea what the stoppage was for, but it's a restart right away. Snyder has taken a step back as far as his aggressiveness goes, and he's waiting for Varner to come to him. He hits a nice little snap here, but isn't able to get anything going from it. Varner is going to start to control center way more here as Snyder starts to play defense with about 1:15 left in this match. You can see the wheels turning in Varner's head as he's trying to figure out some game plan, something that he can do to score on Snyder. However, Snyder just does such a phenomenal job of moving his feet, hand fighting hard. He always has his hands and his feet moving. He's always looking to score. He's definitely a super tough opponent. Again, at this level and at the college level, sometimes Varner struggled to generate offense. So being down 3-0 against someone the caliber of Snyder is very challenging for a guy like Jake Varner to come back on. I'm sure you could cite plenty of come from behind victories for Varner in college and at this level, but not with guys at the caliber of Snyder. Oftentimes Varner, especially in the U.S., was the heavy favorite. Going into this tournament, it was pretty split on who was going to be better, Snyder or Varner. Varner tries a duck to his left side, but Snyder's able to defend. Varner now is going to try a desperate snap down. He's really going to try to get Snyder underneath him and even stand up, and Snyder is able to defend it and almost gets a step out. Again, notice Varner really only took the one shot for a duck under. He doesn't have a ton of offense that he feels comfortable with against a guy at the caliber of a Kyle Snyder. Varner's looking to get Snyder to the edge here. As soon as Snyder snaps and spins, Varner kind of knows that this is over and he's really not going to be able to get it done. He keeps chasing, but the time runs out on him, and Kyle Snyder is going to be your 2015 rep. Snyder wins 2 straight against the reigning Olympic champion to make his first world team. Snyder would go on to be the youngest world champion in American history this year.